Welcome to Will Talks, everybody. Today I have an incredible guest, someone who has been passionate about education for over at least 33 years. Someone who understands what education is, how schools are run, and how children perform, and what really makes them tick. We have with us today Mrs. Amrita Burman, the director of the Sunbeam group of educational institutions from the sacred city of Varanasi. How are you doing today?
All good, all good. And after attending your session yesterday, I think I'm doing better and more confident.
Wow. And I have to tell you that the way AI is just, it's made so much of, let's call it hype for now.
Yes.
The kind of hype it's created in 2 years. How did you come across AI, and what were the first things you remember of AI and things like that? It'd be nice to just get a feel.
So I think it's the buzzword. Just about everywhere that I go. And there are so many youngsters around in education these days. Everybody's talking about AI. So it intrigued me. And I kind of tried on my own to explore. I haven't been the best, but still I did try. Then I have a great team. Some of them are young. They're exploring on their own. So then we sat down and we said, okay, what is it that you guys are doing? And I found something real exciting happening. So I thought it just cannot be confined to just these few people. It has to be there at Sunbeam, because I saw how it was making work easy, how it was saving time, and that's what we've been talking about. Where do I get the time to connect with my students? And I thought, oh wow, the answer's here. If you do a lot of that mundane work through AI, you actually get quality time to connect with students. So keeping all those things in mind, I thought, let's have someone come in to do a training for everyone, all 800 teachers. And then, of course, as far as you're concerned, I did follow you. I heard about you. I heard you. And then many people spoke to me about you. I saw you at some conferences. I went to attend your session. And then I said, wow, he's the guy who needs to come and train my teachers. And I'm glad it's happening.
Oh, thank you. It's an absolute honor, and I'm really humbled that you took that decision. And I do know that you go for so many workshops, right? So, before AI, I keep wondering how these workshops were, right? We would go to these workshops because we would really want to learn something, no? And do you remember a lot of the workshops that you've been to? Any workshop that comes to your mind, like over the past 10, 15 years, maybe?
So there have been a lot of workshops. In fact, the few that I attended probably 20 years back, 25 years back, a lot at that time used to happen only through CBSE. There were very few private players who would really get into education and do workshops. They were, but very few. Most of it was either CBSE or they were the publishers who would take workshops. Quality, some good, probably some not very good, So we used to feel, we went there, but it was a waste of time. Yet we used to travel. The reason why we used to travel is you never know where you would strike gold, number one. Number two, which is something that I even tell my principals, let's sit down and learn. Because even in that 3-hour workshop, maybe you may realize that 2.5 hours was all rubbish. But half an hour or 15 minutes, I can really get back, and that one powerful idea can make a difference to my institution. So we used to go, we still go. But things that have changed now are that there are a lot of private organizations, interest groups who have started taking up a lot of sessions for educators. I'm not very sure. I don't really want to use this word that they're also making money out of it. I'm sure they are. Finances are important, but I think it's good money spent by us. And if somebody is really doing good service and making my teachers go few steps forward, we are absolutely game for that. So we attend a lot of conferences, but things have changed now. The conferences have become much better designed. I think the ones who are organizing it really put their minds into it as to how over 1.5 days should we have our sessions? Everybody knows attention spans have gone down. So you can't have those real long things where the whole day somebody is listening to someone. It doesn't work anymore. Since you have so many people coming to interact, speak, take sessions, from some of them, maybe 10 of them over 2 days, there's someone who's making sense to you. So I think going for conferences really matter. The other good thing about conferences and another mode of learning has been that you're not only learning through the sessions, you're learning from leaders you meet over your lunches and your dinners and the informal talks that you have. You connect with them, you travel to their school, sometimes they travel to your school, they become facilitators in your school. So I think the mode of learning through these conferences has become, it's multi-fold. So it really helps to go, to see, to listen and to learn.
See, for me, Sunbeam is a large group. You have like 24 schools in Varanasi, and you're dominating the space literally. And I have not seen schools interested much in doing teacher training or professional development. I've seen most schools are afraid, not sure. Maybe they don't understand the way you understand or the way your group understands. They might look for value in every minute, rather than for what's valuable,
Right.
all these things. So how did you really, just as a fellow school, leader myself, I'm also wondering, is there anything that you did to bring that culture in? Because I used to tell I'm just saying, I called a friend to my annual day once, and he told me, how do you do all this? And I was like, it's all my team, man. It's all my team. And he looked at me, he laughed, and he said, boss, I'll minus you from that team, then I'll see how much you'll do.
Yeah.
And then to a certain extent, I felt like, I should also take responsibility that, I play a part.
Yeah.
And when I started acknowledging that I play a part, I at least started thinking about what is that part I explicitly am playing, and can I play it better?
Right.
Because being a leader, especially at the top and near the founder, I don't want to use we. Okay, I may be blinded. I may not get, all the feedback that others might get so easily from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, just wanted to pick your brain. What kind of experiences you've probably had, because you have such a long time, no, that you've spent, and you've seen people come and go. You've seen fads come and go, products come and go, schools come and go. So I'm sure you must have seen.
Yes.
So, what comes to mind?
First correction is that we are 24 schools. We have 8 in Varanasi and 16 are our associates.
Okay.
Why I'm particularly mentioning this is that all these 16 schools are in the 3-tier, 4-tier towns of UP.
Oh.
And what we do in Varanasi, that's basically something that as an institution or as a group we've committed to. We have to do everything that we're doing in terms of quality and standards in the Varanasi campuses, even in these 16 campuses. And that is not a very, very easy thing to do or convince people to do. But we handhold them, we take them through. But that's just one part. So if we've taken up AI today, we're not just going to leave it to AI in these campuses. We're going to make it a point that it goes, it may be slow, but it will percolate to every campus, even outside of Varanasi. That's one. Coming to teacher training and leadership, etc. So I think I was just lucky. I started traveling pretty early to learn myself. So I was always of this opinion, I don't know enough. And I knew that there were better schools. I knew that there were better systems and the way things could go. At that time, as I mentioned, there weren't too many conferences, etc. But wherever I traveled and wherever I met people, I made it a point that I would visit their schools and interact with them. And it wasn't only me, because I realized that it cannot begin and end at me. You have to leave a legacy. You have to see that the institution, which is bigger and stronger than you are, has to remain even when you move on, has to be flourishing when you go. I always tell my team, our leadership is useless if you're actually missed when we leave. We should be remembered for the great things we may have done, but nobody should really miss us to say, oh God, we can't do this today because so-and-so didn't really train us in the right way, or I don't know which way to go. So the team traveled with me. When I say team, to different places, different people, right from the top, principals sometimes, vice principals, academic heads, tech team, etc., etc. Different people travel to different places depending on their roles. So it wasn't just me learning, it was they also learning. So when we came back, it wasn't such a tough job to implement things. They were already sold to the idea, just as much as I was. So when we discussed, in fact, we took certain ideas which we may have got inspired from, not only to a different level, we obviously contextualize it, because you can't do copy-paste for anything. Something may be doing brilliantly somewhere else may not work in your institution. So we contextualized it and we worked. So it was the whole team that was, sold out to the idea. When it comes to teacher training and my role, I think just as much as I was sold out to the idea that we have to train our people, because with no fear that somebody may leave. Because if someone doesn't leave and is working with you and is not trained, probably the worst thing that you can do to the children who are there in your school. So that was never a fear. On the contrary, the more we invest in our people, the more there is longevity of service of people with us. In fact, I think, which is something that I'm yet to calculate, but just a rough estimation, the duration, an average duration of any Sunbeam working with us teacher, I think would not be less than 12 to 15 years.
Wow.
Which I think is huge.
That's a really large.
Yeah. So
goes
people
way
have
above the
been,
national average.
so they've been around with us for so many years. And what I really want to add here is, just as much as I was sold out to the idea of teacher training and improvement, I got a lot of support from the management. So whenever I said that I want to take the teachers here, I want to send the teachers to a particular place, whoever, I've always got support and I've always got the finances. Right from the beginning, and more so, I think, because everybody saw the results of this travel, saw that people were really with us because they felt that they were growing with the institution. And this training, besides salary and other remuneration, that's a given. This has been one of the biggest stickiness to the group. Is what I can say. So
that's a huge learning. That's a huge learning that any principal or any director or promoter of a school should know, that you have to really invest in training. It has to be a big expense head for you.
Absolutely.
We just like marketing.
We budget for it.
Yeah,
right?
you have to budget for it and you have to say, okay, this is what it is. And also, like, what I'm seeing from you and hearing from you is the training is not necessarily the start of the session and the end of the session. It's the whole experience of going to another place.
Yes.
Going to another city.
Absolutely.
Exposure.
Connect when you go somewhere.
Yeah.
You're also, we're having our lunches and our dinners, and we're also talking about how to take this forward, how to contextualize, and so many other things. When somebody will say, because you just mentioned that I'm not very sure whether people would give me feedback because I'm the owner and right? I think it's all about breaking these barriers down and these informal conversations that you have outside of your campus. Oh God, that just brings the barrier down, and somebody turns around and even tells me, God, ma'am, you lost your cool that day. That wasn't cool.
So the good thing here is, like, one of the things that I'm getting is, when you're going out to train, you are no longer a director where you go.
Yeah.
You're a participant there.
Absolutely.
You're in a land of equals.
And not even equals. Probably they know better than me.
Yeah.
So I'm turning around, especially in this AI business. Will you please let me know? Can I? So it's good to tell people around you, I'm not the best. I don't know.
That is such a great learning, because, people may be seeking out spaces where they continue to reign supreme.
Yes.
Rather than have the humility and, I would say, the courage to be vulnerable.
Yes.
To put themselves in a space like that and to be vulnerable and to learn from others, and and then to become stronger. Because the intention here, the intention seems clear. Do what it takes to help our kid. Do what it takes to get the best for our children in Varanasi. What is Varanasi? Would you consider it to be like a tier 1, 2, 3 kind of this thing? And what do the people feel? What do people feel? I just want to understand. What do people feel? Do they feel like, we have to get out of Varanasi if we have to get opportunity? Are there jobs here? What happens? I just want to understand.
So jobs are not too many, in the sense that, let me start
no industry here, no?
I'll just start. I think today it's a tier 2 town.
Okay.
I don't know what the index says and what the government says. They've got their own parameters. So, but I think it's a tier 2 town, and it would have been a tier 3. It's moved to and progressed to tier 2 is what I feel. There's a reason. Number one, I think industry has grown, but industry means handloom. We're really not an industrial belt.
Okay.
We're more into sari weaving. Very close is the Bardoi Mirzapur belt. So you have the carpet weaving industry. There are many others. In fact, as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, Varanasi has got the highest GI tags in the country. If I just did a little bit of research one of these days, I was intrigued. If I'm not mistaken, it's something like 60, 65. I don't want to mention it here. I'm not sure. But I think people can do research. I think it is the highest. Which also means there's a lot of local small handloom industries which have got GI tagged. Okay. What used to happen was, the younger generation didn't want to come back to these industries, because they felt that this is not what I want to do. I don't want to have studied and come back to sari weaving. What has happened is, a sari weaving industry has also changed, because fashion has changed. So people are now into a lot of verticals. There's design, which is a huge thing. There's color, which is a huge thing in this. There's marketing. There's technology. A lot of stuff is done on the computer. Graphic designing has become a great thing.
All this comes in.
Varanasi was never known for retail. It's become big in retail. Tourism is huge. Government is really promoting tourism. So there are many things. Now what's happening is, the younger generation who's studying in our schools or schools like ours are also being told and taught, come back. It's great to be an entrepreneur. Your father, mother, parents have already bought certain things to this level. Stay back. Probably you'll make a lot more than going to a corporate sector. You don't even realize, and you'll be your own boss. Rather than being a job seeker, you'll be a job creator. All these talks by a lot of schools like ours, and Sunbeam in particular, have got a lot of children coming back and working here. There are a lot of children who are going out, who are, seeking jobs elsewhere, but many people are staying back. There's one more thing I wanted to add here. When we started with Sunbeam, many, many years back, many people used to study with us till about class 5, 8 and then move on to legacy schools.
Oh, okay.
They used to go out, many of them. It was a dream, because I had my own children going out and studying when they were young. And I used to miss them. And I used to feel, God, the best upbringing is family and school, both in a child's life. So what we thought of then, when we started, the founders and me, that, we should aim that children should not step out of Varanasi. They should get everything that any school is providing anywhere in the country here in Varanasi, and children should get this combination for a very healthy upbringing. And I think to a large extent, we've managed to arrest that, children going out. So children, when they stay here, also become global. They have the global perspective, but they love the local. So they know what their father is doing, how their father may have started, from the grassroots, but have managed to make a good living for themselves, a respectable living, and giving employment to so many people. They want to come back and do what their father is doing now, and taking that work to the next level.
Oh, what incredible contribution that is to society, especially to a community and to a city, when you think about that. Because I think schools, when they just look at their own school and say, oh, if our goal is only to get good marks in the board, I think they're really missing their social and societal goals by such a huge extent.
Yes.
Because when you tell me, when you said what you said, it just made me really feel that, wait, this is what schools must be like, right? They have to serve the community, the city.
Yes.
I come from Mumbai, and the city is so big that you feel very depersonalized about it.
Yes.
You don't feel like हमारा कुछ काम है इसमें, हम क्या करेंगे?
But here you can feel that there's a contribution you can make.
Yeah.
And you have a duty to do that.
I mean,
Responsibility.
and now so many things make sense to me suddenly. Because I'm like, now I know why there is this incredible zest for learning and growing and improving, and not just, you're already the most respected school here, so if you look at typical business minded approach that many other industries follow.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about schools. They say if you're full, don't do anything. but what I'm learning from you as a school is, since you're full, you're doing so much more because you have even more responsibility.
Or maybe we may be full, but we don't really feel full.
You don't
we
feel
feel that we can do more.
And you want to impact them more.
Yes.
Because now there's so much trust that people have put in you.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And meeting the founders, meeting you, it tells me how internally motivated you are, how personally responsible you feel for all these people.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think one more thing, since you mentioned the founders, we're all very, very local people also. People keep meeting us on a number of occasions. So we get that little feedback even in a club, wherever we go. I think that we should not be doing this, and ma'am, can we change this? And we take that informal feedback very seriously, and that impacts the institution doing better. So I think this local connect really helps even with the parents and the students.
That's super, because as an organization grows, they start building walls.
Yeah.
Around them. They don't build a lot of windows.
We like to be more visible. We like to be visible with the kids, speaking to them, talking to the teachers, of course, talking a lot to the parents. So there is, on the whole, I don't think there's any inhibition for somebody to come and speak to us at all. They know that we are receptive to their feedback.
And what's the culture like in Varanasi? What I mean by is, in the city, I'll tell you, in the city, at least from where I come from, if a parent is not happy with us, they don't tell us, they just walk away. Because they feel like, they have a lot of different options, and they just walk away. So they walked away and we have no feedback. So we don't know how to improve, first thing. The second thing is, one parent once told me, sir, मैं आपके साथ झगड़ा कर रहा हूँ इसके बारे में. मुझे ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है जो आप कर रहे हो. And I'm like, आप मतलब झगड़ा क्यों कर रहे हैं? आज तक कोई झगड़ा नहीं किया. He's like, नहीं, मुझे रहना है ये स्कूल में, मुझे इस स्कूल को बेहतर बनाना है, इसलिए मैं आपसे झगड़ा कर रहा हूँ. And I was like, culture plays such an amazing thing.
So if somebody can come and do jhagda and say that I want to stay here, that means he loves you and loves your institution.
Yeah.
So I think they are the most wanted, respected. I love such parents. Of course, let me tell you, there was a time when people used to come and do jhagda. Why does a parent do jhagda? That's what I tell my principals and everyone. Anybody would do jhagda because he comes with that preconceived notion कि कोई मेरी बात नहीं सुनेगा. So if you want to be heard, यहाँ बहुत चिल्लाओ तब कोई सुनेगा. So please just listen to them.
It's a
if
signal.
you create
no?
a culture of listening, that same parent who we feel would have done jhagda will just say, can I just come in? I want to speak. I want to give a little bit of a feedback, and he'll walk out because he, number one, knows he will be heard. Number two, if we get some solid feedback, we not only discuss it and implement it, which the parent gets to know automatically and really thank him for his great suggestion, his or her. In case we don't implement something, we let them know that, we thought it was a good suggestion, but contextually it's not working. Thanks for letting us know, but unfortunately we can't do it. So that he knows he's been heard. Next time he has something nice to say, he'll come back and let you know that, I have another idea. So I think it's all about a listening culture.
Yeah, a listening culture. And sometimes in India, you look at the language and you be like, hum kisi ka nahi sunte hain, and all. These colloquial.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right? We have to listen, and we may not have to agree.
Yes.
But we have to listen.
I can agree to disagree with you.
Yes, absolutely.
But you as a parent, I think
parent has a right, to be
biggest
heard.
stakeholder.
Yeah.
The child will move out after 15 years from my school. I will continue doing my job and evolving like the teacher, like all educators. We'll all keep doing that. For that parent, it's his life, that child, and is his future in the child, which is the most important. So according to me, parent is the biggest stakeholder. We have to respect them. We have to listen to them.
Wow. And you see, schools and education is a huge, complex problem. When anyone comes and says, मैं 2 साल में ये सब set कर दूंगा, everybody knows. You'll take 5 years to even understand the problem, right? Because it's a society thing, it's a social thing. And you've been with Sunbeam for so many years. If you feel like you can say how many years, but you've been in Sunbeam for so many years and you've done so many things. I want to ask you, okay, how do you feel about doing more things in this organization? How do you feel? How do you feel? Like I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. My mom is 87 now, but there was a time when she was 82, and she attended some workshop, and she came back from that workshop at 82. She said, "My God, I feel like as if I'm 30 now. There's so much to do in school, and I feel like, how do you feel that way, right? Because you've done so much."
Actually, the first thing is, I have never told myself or actually genuinely felt that I've done so much. It's been a journey. And I think with children, it's like every day can be a better day for them. You have to do something differently. Everything cannot be differently because kids are changing. So if I say what I did 33 years back, it's been 33 years that I've been around, that worked then, it may be a failure today. So if I don't evolve along with this complete group of people that we are here, the educators, if we don't evolve with the times, I think we're going to be absolutely irrelevant. So it is very important to keep understanding the psyche of the kids first. That's the most important. What are they thinking today?
And that's changing, no?
That's changing, and changing so fast. So if that's changing, how can our ways and methods of doing things in the school not change? So if you want to get that change, you have to keep learning. And every time you learn, like you said, your mom, coming back with, I have to do it. I'm also a little bit like that. Oh God, I can't sleep till I get it done.
Yeah.
And because over the years, now we have 24 schools. So it is not only getting it done in one particular campus. How do you replicate it in 24? So it takes a long time till something that you have begun to do reaches absolutely the last and probably the least open to learning campus. For different things, there are different ones, of course. So, but it is our responsibility. The responsibility doesn't lie with the directors in that particular campus. The responsibility is to every child in every campus, 24 of them, to deliver, because they have not come to the institution for anyone else. They've only come for the name Sunbeam. Sunbeam means something to them.
It's a promise.
It's a promise. You have to deliver. So till you don't go out, come back maverick and a maniac that you have to do it, it doesn't work.
There's this book called Only the Paranoid Survive, right?
Yes.
By Andy Grove, and it talks about, how we can get this done. But I think I run one or two schools myself, but that's pretty much it. And these are not schools that I have to depend a lot on others, right? These are all schools within my control. So I'm being conscious that there are different challenges when you're dealing with schools, even geographically away, maybe 100, 200, 300 kilometers away from a different space entirely, where you may not have complete control over hiring, staffing, all these things. But I'm actually really curious to know, in case someone wants to start a school today and they're looking for podcasts from people who have experienced running schools and network of schools. What do you think they should be conscious of? One thing for sure we've touched upon is really invest in training. But apart from these things, what do you think principle we need to hire in today's time, in today's world? Okay, this could be controversial, but what kind of parents, is there a kind of parents for the first set of parents, or when a school is just starting, is there something are there any inside trade secrets that people would know with wisdom? For example, I'm saying if I started a new school, I would want a particular kind of parent who believes in what I'm trying to do. Otherwise, if too much change happens in that side, then I may not be able to. Those kind of things, small little things which you don't see in books.
So I thought, when it comes to the kind of parent, see, let's be practical. When someone is investing their money in starting a school, which is not an easy investment.
It's super expensive now.
It's super expensive. Look at the land cost, etc. Okay? And otherwise also. It's huge. So frankly, I don't think, besides, I can't afford this school. That's another thing. That parent won't even come to you because you have a structure of fees and whatever. They understand. They won't come to you. Anyone else would come to you if it's a new school. Okay, you haven't really started any other school, so you haven't created a brand name for yourself. So nobody knows what are you going to deliver. That parent will probably come to you for very specific reasons that I know. The school is close to me. The principal has probably been picked up from somewhere. I know. Or I know the promoters. I know that they usually are the ones who will deliver. So मुझे लगता है कि मैं इसमें विश्वास कर सकता हूँ. They are ready to take that risk of investing and putting the child in your school. So I think that is a start point. So when we also start our schools, we're not very choosy. You can't be very, very choosy. Yes, we are choosy about those. We feel that this is not the kind of parent I want. I don't want an overly...
Culturally, you mean
culturally.
Do they believe in our vision of the school types?
Will they align to what I'm trying to do? So let me first talk to them about, देखिए यहाँ पर ये होगा. What are your practices going to be? What's the vision of your school?
So that pre-admission orientation, pre-admission, not a sales pitch.
So you need to just tell them, this is what I'm going to be. If you really want to come on board, well, you're welcome and your child is welcome.
So you're setting the expectation.
Absolutely. That's one. And therefore, you open your doors to most of the people except those 3, 4, 5 whatever who just fall out because they feel कि नहीं ये सब तो देखिए हम नहीं कर सकते हैं नहीं है ठीक है, then that's fine. Don't come to me. Once you've taken people on, my experience says 99% of the people, let's say 95, okay, stick to you. Why? In the very first year, and I would say from the very first day, if your approach to education and teaching things to I would say delivery rather than teaching, the teaching learning pattern in the school is one of honesty, trying, being with the kid, connecting with the parent, connecting with the kid being happy. And when I say happy, it's not about popularly just being happy. Aapko kuch bhi karna aap karo, you can still be happy. No. Teach the right and the wrong, the ethics, the values, the morals, everything. When the child is with us for about a month, I'm talking about the new schools, and I'm even going back 30 years. When the children have been in the classroom even for a month, and then we've closed for summers, and we met them just before we go for summers, and the parent says, मेरे बच्चे में बहुत change है. Wow, that's the happiness. That's the first point of happiness. So I think at the end of it, what you do with the child within the premises of your school and classroom, if you deliver, there is 100% stickiness.
This is amazing. So you're actually saying that I'm asking you as a as someone who understands this deeply. Parents can see change, huh?
Yes, and if they see a change for the better, let me also tell you, they will stretch their pocket to see to it that the child is still in your school. They won't.
So
for
first
any
year
parent,
or
education
whatever
से
it
बड़ा कुछ
is.
नहीं है of the child.
So whether it is the first year of the school or whatever, change can be made visible.
And it is possible to be made visible.
Even in 2 months, 3 months.
Absolutely. In some way or the other, the way the child speaks, the way the child conducts himself, it's not about how much you've learnt in maths. That's a different thing altogether. How has the teacher approached the child? Are they open? Is the teacher open to listening and talking to the parent? Parent wants to be heard.
So what I'm getting here is like, while the parent may come and complain about academics, the parent, by academics I mean by marks, and they may say, oh, marks, all that, but they may stay because of the change they're able to see. They may not even be able to articulate it, but because of the change that they're seeing in their children.
So I may have been sending my child to another school where marks were easy to get. And therefore my child was getting 80%. ये क्या हो गया? आपके स्कूल में आया तो बच्चे का मार्क गिर गया. Yet they say, but हमको लग रहा है कि वो सीख ज़्यादा रहा है.
कुछ तो है.
वो सीख ज़्यादा रहा है. Now वो सीख could also be maths. It could also be basic mannerisms, the way they speak, the way they behave, what they go back home, how excited they are when they go back home and talk about school, and when they get up in the morning and they say, आज छुट्टी क्यों है? मेरे को तो स्कूल जाना था. And that's what parents tell us. ये तो छुट्टी पे भी उठ के बोलता है इसको स्कूल जाना है. What better?
So your prescription is clear. Like, just make sure that the impact is visible.
Absolutely. Frankly, I don't feel running a school is a very complicated thing. It's not. It's very simple, state of the heart. If you have your heart at the right place, everything else falls in place.
And what about principles? What are you must have interviewed, like, I don't know, like 500 or 1,000 principles in your life, right? And is there anything that comes to your mind in terms of what kind of things we need to keep in mind when we hire a principal? And also, there will be so many principals listening to your conversation if they should move to the next step like you. Because according to the government, I don't think there's anything higher than principal in a school.
In a school, absolutely.
But director, joint director, or CEO, these are all new things.
These are the new posts that have been created, over the years.
What do you feel about the new organizational structure?
If you have to hire principals, what we've done and where our success story has been with principals is most of them have been teachers with us, but we also saw whether they have the leadership quality. Sometimes the mistakes people make is somebody's been a great teacher, appoints so-and-so as the principal. It's not about that. A great teacher may be a great teacher, but may not have the right leadership skills. So a great teacher with the right leadership skills is a great combination that you can have. And that's where we've kind of, people have of course applied from the school itself, but we've actually eyed them and said, would you like to apply for the post of a principal, because you watched them, seen them working. So I think leadership quality is the most important. Attitudes, according to me, is very important. A positive attitude to learn, to be humane, to say I don't know and I would like to move forward in this learning journey makes all the difference, So I think when you have all these things in place, honesty, moral values, Because I personally feel if the leadership qualities are there, raw, they need to be polished and brought up to the next level. There is no dearth of ways that you can do it. But if the attitudes are not right, if the moral values are not right, you can't do anything to anyone at the age of 35, 40 when people usually become principals. When it comes to can I become more than a principal, take up charge, then when you are, that's also something that we've done. So when you are a principal, do you have a vision to see beyond what's happening only in your single one institution? Do you have a broader vision to be able to then do probably more than one campus? Because usually directors or somebody who's sitting over 2-3 campuses, and taking care. So more than one campus. And do you have a vision of doing much more to the institution than what you could have done just as a principal, which means travel a lot, envision, be creative, think of new things, understand where things are not working right, and you could really take the institution to the next level. The principal has brought it here, but now I'm one of those who can envision and take it there. So if you have those additional qualities, you can obviously move on, because I've noticed a lot of people who've got more than one campus do want to keep a director, a CEO, because they feel you need somebody who can coordinate between different campuses, someone who can take care of more than just the everyday operations that the principals are doing, but sometimes coordinating the 3 principals. Who's going to do that? Best practice sharing between 3 campuses. Who's going to do that? So you have to have a different vision.
It is very easy to fall into silos, no?
Yeah, very easy. Very easy. You actually have to draw people out and say, look, you have a best practice, have a large heart now. Share. Sharing is sometimes not the
difficult also.
Very difficult, because you can grow, but you don't want to see other people growing, which I think is sad. I think we should have absolutely open doors and open hearts as educators.
Incredible. You don't have to take my recommendation, but I really think that if somebody wants to start a school, or even if a school wants to hire a new principal, they should also have other people sitting in interviews.
Yes.
And go find madam on LinkedIn, DM her, and try and see if you get an appointment. But I think people like you who've just seen so much, right? You're able to detect things so quickly, which I think is such a gift that a lot of others need to be able to look at. But I just want to say my experience at Sunbeam so far has been just spectacular, because just watching the way everything is done, there seems to be a high level of accountability in every member of staff. I'm talking about everybody, right? Like even people who are driving me and everything. That just looks like it's such a well-run ship. It looks like ध्यान है किसी का.
ध्यान है सबका ऊपर से. Yes, we are very particular. I think we are very particular about our reputation in the first place. We are also very, I think as an institution, we are not only a thinking institution, we are a very strongly feeling institution. We try to be very caring towards our people. Personally, I'm a very tough taskmaster. I just want things to happen as far as it is possible in the right way. But that doesn't mean that if somebody is going through a rough patch or needs hand-holding, it won't be there. So I think that's something that flows right from the top, that we need to care. I think the moment you start caring for people, people fall in love with the institution that they work for. It's not just the individual. Yes, everybody cares for each other, is in love with each other, because professionally we are very, very closely knitted as a group. But everybody, ultimately, there's that one name that resonates with everyone, which is Sunbeam. And we could be wire medias as individuals in the institution, but it all comes from there. So everybody else who works for the organization would always keep that name in mind, that if I do anything wrong or if I don't care, this is the name that's going to be impacted. Because what happens is that this is also the name that gives you recognition. So I'm not Amrita Burman, who may be recognized or is called to speak or whatever. It is Amrita Burman, director of the group. That Sunbeam is the stickiness. I don't know what I'd be without the organization. So I think everybody feels like that. That at the end of the day, you owe it to the institution.
There's a pride of association.
So there's a pride.
That's amazing. So, we're going to be closing now. If there's anything that you want to put as a closing note, then feel free to say that. But while you're thinking about that, I would say this, that if you're a principal or if you're a director and if you get an opportunity to attend any of the conferences or any of the expositions or talks or trainings, and if you see that there is a Mrs. Amrita Burman, director of Sunbeam, as a speaker, then you better go for that particular workshop and take your time to meet her and share your card and swap some stories. I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely eye-opening experience for you. Just the connect to have, especially when people like ma'am are so caring and genuine. I think it'll do a lot of good for you. If you have any closing
Thank you so much, Willy,
statements,
for all those wonderful words. I'm absolutely humbled. I think my message to everyone would be honest, hard work pays. And I think that's the way the whole institution has been working. Work towards doing something nice and always keep the child in the center. I always tell my principals, you're going to try something, try it. If it benefits the child, it's good. If it doesn't benefit the child, just drop it. It's absolutely meaningless in an institution. To all those who are going to be aspiring principals or are principals, just keep working hard and you'll achieve it. And another thing I always insist, you can be very commonplace like I am. I think the only thing that works is just continuously keep going on the journey, and you will achieve. There's no magic wand. I think there is no shortcut to success except hard work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.